Ask them, how do you balance owner involvement with timely decision making? That answer will tell you whether the company manages properties or is just going to forward you emails. Mike, what do you think? I mean, we see these bottlenecks all the time when it comes to approvals. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Chris, we see it far too often, unfortunately, where owners think that they're going to control the costs by, being involved in every single decision. And what you really need to do is you need to find a property manager that you trust. And like you said, let's talk about the processes. Let's talk about the guardrails in place. We have a maintenance limit that we're going to make a decision up to X amount of dollars. It's not outlandish. Ours is $500. But we need the authority to be able to make that decision on the owner's behalf so that we can move quickly. And why? Because it's really all about tenant satisfaction and return of investment. That's what everybody is mostly concerned about. Right? So what we have learned between our, probably 30, 40 years of experience just between me and you, Chris, is that happier tenants leads to a higher retention rate or turnover costs, which means better cash flow for you as the investor. And so that's really what it's all about. Is I think that sometimes get caught up in the moment, get caught up in that one repair or that one decision, and they think, if I could just save $200 or $300 on this one repair, where we take the emotion out of it and we also bring our breadth of our experience, and we know that, hey, maybe saving that $200 or $300 is important now, but what's really more important is getting that HVAC serviced now so that your tenant is happy, so that they renew, you don't have turnover costs, and your return on investment is way, way, way better.
And I know how difficult it is to find a good property management company that's going to provide good communication, handle maintenance properly and transparently. And bad companies have kind of set a bad precedent where owners feel it necessary to keep a closer eye. But if you secure a good property management company, no matter how hard those are to find, this is going to make a major impact on your cash flow. And you need to realize that. And the biggest factor, and there's many that this can relate to, but the biggest one that I always go back to is the maintenance handling. There's an overwhelming factor when it comes to tenant retention, and that's responsiveness to maintenance. And I explain this to everyone I have a phone call with. We have to maintain that $500 operating reserve just so that we can respond to maintenance concerns quickly. Now, we understand you don't want us needlessly spending $1,000, or you don't want the surprise even on your next disbursement where $1,000 came out, which, by the way, even on the ones under $500, we are very transparent with our maintenance concerns. You're alerted to every single one of them. But we will action it nonetheless. If it's under $500 maintenance limit, we will action it. And that is in an effort to maximize your tenant retention, which is arguably the number one factor to your ROI. So tenant retention, responsiveness to maintenance concerns, and how that, let me just go a little bit deeper there in how that actually affects is because if we send out a plumber to clear out a toilet, and that plumber goes out, tells us there's a rubber ducky shoved down the toilet, but you are handcuffing us and we need to have them leave because we have to now contact the owner, however long that takes, explain the situation to them and obtain their approval to remove the rubber ducky, which we all know the rubber ducky needed to be removed. So now we have a trip charge for the original stop by the plumber. Now we have to call them back out. And now we're 2-3 days into this just to remove a rubber ducky when the maintenance concern might have been $150. Just to resolve it in the first place. So it's very important that as long as you are working with a well-qualified property management company that has the processes and transparent communication in place, you gotta let them work. If you want to hear more questions you should be asking, be sure to check out our Watch and Learn tab on the website or head over to our YouTube page for more.